Good morning, everyone. Today is June 21st, 2020. It is 66, but feels like 69 here in North Idaho. I'm Jody, and welcome to Moose Flats Farm. And I know I said no more brooder this year, but then I decided to save those 5 Muscovies as mine to keep, so kind of put it back up, show you what they got going on. So I just pulled most of the shavings out of this side so they can have a little swimming pool without making a huge mess of their area. And I figured part of the way to their heart is green stuff. But aren't those cute? Well, before I go through and clean out all these wild roses, I want to show you how pretty it is, because I need to get into the compost for filling up some pots for the hop vines. They are super pretty this time of year and good for the bees, but got stuff starting to come on in the garden and need to get working on getting this cleaned up so I can use it. So I am still going to be digging out the compost and stuff for the hops, but slight change in plans because this daylily, when we go to build the new shed, will have to be moved. And I figured I'll just surprise David John and get it moved. We're going to be moving it to the other corner of the compost bin. So got a layer of compost in the bottom of it. So let's see if I can get that big boy unplanted and moved. And it's full of ants, so the chickens will tear this up as soon as I'm done. Well, now that I got it loose, definitely going to have to add a lot more stuff to that pot. Great big fat worm. Plant him over there so the chickens won't eat him. That should be deep enough. Let's see if I can pick it up. Get some, you're really crooked. Get some more soil around the top part, water them in. And that's one thing David John doesn't have to do. And the one really nice thing about daylilies, even though that was a pretty aggressive move, is they're uber forgiving. So got it nice and full, and I did do landscape fabric underneath the pot since it's just half of a 50-gallon barrel drum, just to help prevent weeds from coming up through. So get this guy watered, and then I'll work on getting the compost pulled out for the hot pots. And like I said, 2 minutes away from there and the chickens had found it. Scratch through and get bugs and worms and make a mess. So the compost stuff, down the surface was not as broken up, but down below it is basically just soil now. It's been in there. We've added potting mix last year, like when we had the big squashes growing in there. So I'm just gonna fill the buckets, and in the big black one I'm going to have the Cascade. In the purple one it's going to be my Centennial, and then the red one will be my Willamette. Get these guys transplanted. Put a little fence right here just to keep the birds from eating them. And then we'll have to get the trellises made down by the house for them to climb on. Because as you see, these guys are ready. So like I said, we don't have their big trellis built yet, so I'm going to make a teepee out of these bamboo stakes and some twine. At least for now for them. So that should work. Get these two moved out of the way so I can move that one back. So I'll get these other two planted and get the fence up and show you guys. So I got the hops transplanted and watered, little teepee, the willamette, the one that's in the red pot. It wasn't as developed and I might have accidentally broke one of the growth spurs on one of them. So part of the reason it went into the smaller pot. But over here, you can't really see them. The fig got hit with freezing rain and it kind of slowed him back, but he finally is starting to show more growth coming on. And then my pretty sunflowers. And then I moved those couple blocks with the irises in it from the front of the compost area. And then the daylily. And I've watered it good enough that water has just been running straight out the bottom. So, going to be running the stringer rope along the top for getting ready to tie up my tomatoes. Not going to worry about the pepper area yet, even though I will have to run the rope all the way across for my determinate tomatoes. So you can't really see it with the GoPro, but I've got strings along there, all the way down. I have a funny little triangle piece there, because that's for that pot. Hopefully you guys can see. So I've got all my strings hung. Gotta turn that or I will look at it. So I've got all my strings hung. Got my rope across the top. And I got my clips, so I'm gonna go through and get these guys tied up. Whoa. Oh, that's why they had it double bagged. It's got a open hole in it. Okay, so this string and I'll bring you in closer in just a second to show you what I'm doing. After I figure out exactly what I'm doing. That looks slick. Okay, since I've already gone through and clipped these guys up, I just got to remember what string goes to what one. Okay, this string goes down to this guy. And these clips here, when you bend them, right here, it makes the joint that you put your rope in. And when you close it down around, and of course that one's broken. Okay, one that's not broken. So you've got your joint, and when you bend this around the tomato, it pinches on the string, and then that locks around the tomato, and you can just work your way up the plant as it grows. And they unhook, and you can use them again for a couple years. Sorry, got distracted for a second. I got a little cutie pie right outside my window. So, and then as the plants grow up, you just add some more. I'm wondering if I should put a fabric staple on that guy, because he's kind of just tall and skinny. The next little clip may or may not be deemed important in the video, or it was important to me, so I left it in. I'll play that clip and give you a little backstory on it. Hi, sweetheart. Got some sad news. Aunt Millie passed away this morning. Okay. I just wanted you to know. My Aunt Millie was an incredible woman. She was a corrections officer in Eastern Washington. She had several children, married my Uncle Ted, and one of her grandsons is autistic. I don't know if he qualifies as, what is the term, fully functional autistic. I know he needs lots of help, and when she retired from the corrections facility, she became his full-time caregiver. He is now in the custody of his older brother, so he's doing as well as can be expected. But it's part of the, even though it has nothing to do with the farm itself, it's part of my life that has been slightly affected by, so that's why I kept it in. So have my uncle in your prayers, because he lost his daughter 2 days before he lost his wife. So you're in our prayers, Uncle Ted. So on with the rest of the video. So got to start on getting these guys tied up. So I'll go through and get the rest of them tied up, and we'll be good for them to take off now that it's going to get sunny and warm. So the real trick is making sure you have a little, it's like this one's a little loose, but because it's so skinny going up, but you want to have a little tension on it, and as they grow I can adjust where they're placed and get a little more tension so they're not flopping around. But they're all tied up and look nice and neat. Now just got to go out to the garden and do some work on it. Well, this is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you all have a good day and a good week. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye for now.